in the relationship, or there's something that transpired, was it harder for you to sit down and have a conversation and to tell her that something had happened outside the relationship, or losing the finals?
Way harder to have a conversation with my now wife.
Right.
Who wasn't at the time, but my now wife about it. Like, you try to think of everything possible.
Because you're thinking about what you're going to say, and you're also thinking about how she's going to react.
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about it all. And
Right.
It's all scary. One, the whole situation is scary enough.
Right.
You're a public figure, that's scary.
Right. Yeah.
But you've hurt, you know that this is going to hurt
know
someone.
It's going to hurt. You know it's going to hurt.
That you've been building a relationship with and a life with.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And no matter what people say on the outside or what people want to think, this and that, like, ultimately, like, you got to sit with you and you got to sit with this person, and this is who you're going to be with.
Right.
And I had to sit with my wife about this. Well, my now wife about this, and have this conversation.
You told her before it became public.
Yeah. I did.
Because I don't know, D Wade, if she'd have stuck with you, that thing to come public and you ain't have the conversation with her.
Man, listen, let me tell you, I couldn't have gotten through that moment without her sticking with me. You know what I mean? Like, it was we were in the playoffs, I think, even in going into the finals, that whatever year that was. Man, that was a rough time for me, bro.
So you got a lot on your mind.
You got a lot on your mind. You're keeping something from people you love.
Right.
And it's heavy. At night, when it get quiet,
yeah,
it's just you and your thoughts.
Yeah.
Them thoughts is loud. And it gets loud up here in his mind. And so it came to a point where, way before, and I tried to pussyfoot around it. I tried to break up with her. And, hey, things has been bad lately. Hey, we've been having a little distance in our relationship anyway. Like, I tried all that.
Right.
She kept showing up. And so it hasn't been perfect. It would never be perfect. But that was 9 years ago.
Right.
And we go to therapy.
Right.
We've been to therapy.
Right.
We've had shouts about it. We've had regular conversations about it. And so it's been something that is going to continue to be something that I have to work at and work on. It doesn't go away because years come or because I say, I'm sorry, or whatever it is. And so...
Is that the hardest part of it, D Wade? To know that you've done this and it's probably always going to be a source of contention. It's always going to be something that could possibly be brought up. It might be 10 years from now. It might be 15. You guys might be 75 years old.
Yeah.
And you still might have to...
Well, when it comes to my wife and I, that's hard. It's always there.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to my son, that's hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to always be there.
Right.
He's done nothing.
Right.
It's a stain that's on him for no reason.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I think about that more than like, we're adults.
Right.
And we're going to get through it.
Right.
Or we ain't going to get through it.
Right.
Right? We're adults in this space.
Right.
This is a young kid.
Right.
Who has already got a negative impact next to his name.
Right.
And he hasn't even had a chance to accomplish
Right.
that. And he already got a negative next to his name because of how he was brought into this world.
Right.
And I think about that. I think about my the son that bears my name.
Right.
And I think about my wife. Like, of course, I think about all my kids. I think about it all. But ultimately, what I do know is, at the end of the day, this is my family. This is my story.
Yep.
We gonna get through this. How we gonna get through it? But we gonna get through it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so, I think, time, distance, space, it doesn't help it, but it makes it allows you to see things differently when you have time away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife and I, 9 years later, are in a different space where we're able to have different conversations about that moment, about the future of my son, about how we want to incorporate, how we want to be. And that's just one aspect of this long journey, right? But ultimately, for me, it's all about making her understand that I'm continuing to grow. I'm continuing to to work on myself. Not understand, but show her, right? As she's showing me. Right. This goes both ways, but in this instance, but also too at the same time, love my kids.
Right.
This is my story.
Right.
And I didn't ask for it to all be this way.
Right.
I don't know what's coming in the future, but right now, this is all mine. And so, as good as it look, or as bad as it seems, it's mine.
Right.
And I'm thankful to even have the good in my life, and I'm also thankful to have the things that's a little uncomfortable to talk about and deal with and experience, because that makes you live a full life.
Right.
And so, That's all I'm trying to do. Just trying to figure out a way to live a full life together.